going to win the Super Bowl, tank and get some more freaking draft picks.
I mean, I don't agree with that, but controversy alert. I don't agree with you in that, but I'm just, again, I think we're both optimists, and I'm just trying to make myself feel a little bit better. So, you got to take the bad with the good, and some of the good is that the Vikings lost, and the Packers are still 7-3 on top of the NFC North. But we have 6 games to play in the regular season, and we've seen this team in the past and get hot at the end of the season. So if our defense can start figuring it out finally, and if the offense can keep humming, I mean, I like our chances, but I think as it stands right now, I think you're right. We're going to make the playoffs and, could go down in that first round or a second round, or make it to the championship somehow and just get bulldozed by somebody better. But
before we end, I know it's impossible, like, at the time, but I think the, like, 4th holding penalty would have made it, like, 1st and 30. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up, on that last drive I'm talking about now, and then they ended up converting that 4th down, 4th and 4, which you knew they were going to. I mean, you just knew it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so upset about the 3rd and 20, and they picked up 16 yards. But whatever, let's leave that aside. Part of me was like, yeah, I get that you want the possession to be over, but each play only took 3 or 4 seconds off. I was screaming at the screen, take the 1st and 30, because that's almost impossible. 1st and 20, because they declined that last penalty. I was like, I mean, I guess this could work out for us. Maybe it'll save us 10 to 15 seconds. Totally understand that. But, like, I was like, dude, take the sure thing, which nothing is a sure thing, but 1st and 20, a lot better than 1st and 30, in my opinion, right? In 1st and 30, they're almost, like, running the clock right away, whereas 1st and 20, they were, like, kind of trying to get towards that first down line. I didn't love that call. I thought that was a pretty big mistake, and it proved to be a pretty big mistake for LaFleur. I mean, it's hard because I quite honestly felt like that when it happened, but like, I don't know. What did you think, like, as it was happening, and tried to not look at retrospect being 2020?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I was, I was sitting there watching the game with my wife, and she's like, "Wait, they're not going to take that penalty?" And I was like, "Well, in some situations, it can benefit you to decline the penalty." And she's like, "Is this one?" And I was like, "I'm not sure." I mean, I was like, I would have taken it because, to your point,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I mean, 1st and 30, they, 1st and 20, okay, they ran the ball, I think, and then 1st and 30, it's like you're almost guaranteed they're going to pass, which, we've had a little bit better luck today than in the run game, I think. But yeah, I don't know why you don't. Yeah, I mean, obviously in retrospect, it's easy to criticize, but I think in real time we were both thinking the same thing. Like, just accept that penalty. That's a huge hole to dig out of. Take. I think that bodes better for us, especially the way the game has gone thus far, than just trying to decline it and lose the down. So.
Well, I think you just nailed it. I think that I think you and I were both a little bit more pessimistic. Like, I think you take 1st and 20 if you believe in your defense, or 2nd and 20, I guess it would have been, instead of 1st and 30. If you believe in your defense, I think you take that all day, right? 20 yards? No way. But I think you and I just saw just terrible, porous D that whole second half, which, again, I think I literally threw something today, which was the first time I threw something since, like, the 2017 NFC Championship game. But it was just so frustrating to, like, to see, 3rd and 20, and they pick up 16 freaking yards to even give them the opportunity to go to 4th. And then, of course, they converted on it. So, yeah, I mean, I think everyone is upset that we didn't pick up a receiver during the trade deadline, and I definitely am in that category. But I think our defense is clearly not the defense that it was last year, and we're unfortunately are back to the place where we can't make big time stops, and it was just very, 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 very disheartening to see. And time again, like, of course we're going to win the games we're supposed to win. Like, we're not a terrible team, but it's just, we haven't been winning the games that are up in the air, under 3 points in terms of, odds. And we're just not doing it. And I don't know. We're soft. We're a soft team. We're not showing up to big time games, and we're just kind of falling flat at one point or another. I thought it was going to turn after that first half, and I was very confident when going into halftime there. But that was just, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, it sure is. But with that, everybody, thanks for listening. Sorry we were so emotional on this one, and by we I mean Charles. But don't forget to subscribe on Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and as always, Chuck, go Pack, go.
I guess go Pack.